Responses to abiotic factors. Organisms maintain a constant internal environment despite varying external environmental conditions. It means to say, in spite of varying external environmental conditions, the organisms are still able to maintain a stability within its cell or its body, and it is possible by the following process. The first one is regulate. It is the maintenance of homeostasis by physiological and behavioral means that ensure a constant body temperature and a constant osmotic concentration. It means to say that the organism is able to maintain a constant body temperature and a constant osmotic concentration by modifying itself physiologically and behaviorally. Thermoregulation is usually maintained by the birds and mammals, whereas the osmotic concentration is usually maintained by the aquatic organisms. Let's first discuss about the thermoregulation in mammals. Thermoregulation in mammals. The success of the mammals is mainly due to their ability to maintain a constant body temperature. In summer, when an outside temperature is more than the body temperature, we sweat profusely. This results in evaporative cooling and bringing down the body temperature. Whereas in winter, when the temperature is below 37 degrees centigrade, shivering occurs. It produces heat and raises the body temperature. What happens during the summer is the outside temperature is more than the internal body temperature, that is 37 degrees centigrade. Now let us assume that the outside temperature is around 38 or 39 degrees centigrade and the internal body temperature is around 37 degrees centigrade. Because of this, we start to sweat continuously, and this results in the cooling of our body, and as a result, it brings down the temperature of the body. But what happens during the winter? During the winter, the surrounding temperature decreases. That is, the internal temperature would be 37 degrees centigrade and the surrounding temperature, let's say it would be around 35 or 34 degrees centigrade. At that point, what happens? Our body produces heat and raises the body temperature by the process of shivering. The next process is conform. Nearly 99% of the animals and the birds cannot maintain a constant internal environment. Their body temperature or osmotic concentration change with the surrounding condition. They are called conformers. So, those animals which are not able to maintain a constant temperature and a constant osmotic concentration, where their internal environment changes with that of the surrounding environment, are called as conformers. In aquatic animals, the osmotic concentration of body fluid changes with that of ambient osmotic concentration. Thermoregulation is energetically expensive, especially for small animals such as shrews and hummingbirds, because they have a larger surface area relative to their volume. So they lose their body heat very fast when it is cold outside. Then they have to spend much energy to generate the body heat. This is the reason why the thermoregulation is not adopted by the shrews and the hummingbird, and this is also one of the reasons why you don't find the small animals in the polar regions. The next one is migrate. Many animals and birds, they move away temporarily from a stressful habitat to a more hospitable area and return when the stressful period is over. It means the animals and the birds, they move away temporarily from a stressful habitat where the weather is not favorable for them, when the food resources is not available. At that point, they move to a more favorable area and then they come back when this stressful period is over. For example, during the winter, the Keoladeo National Park, which is in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, it hosts a migratory birds which is coming from Siberia and other extremely cold northern regions. The fourth one is suspend. In bacteria, fungi, and in lower plants, the thick-walled spores are formed which help to survive the unfavorable condition. During the return of the favorable conditions, they germinate. Whereas in the higher plants, seeds and some other vegetative reproductive structure, they serve to tide over the period of stress by reducing their metabolic activity. The seeds and the other vegetative reproductive structure germinate when the favorable conditions are returned. Even in the case of animals, the suspended activity is observed. For example, hibernation of bears during the winter. Here, the metabolic activity is suspended during the winter season. Estivation of snails and fishes during the summer. Here also, the metabolic activity is suspended during the summer season. Diapause is a stage of suspended development of many zooplanktons in lakes and ponds. It means to say a stage of suspended development. That means when there is an unfavorable condition, a part of their body do not develop. Let's say a reproductive structure might not be developed completely because of an unfavorable condition. And this happens in zooplanktons. And the diapause occurs both during the summer and winter season. And the next topic what we are going to study is adaptations. So what is adaptation? Adaptation is a morphological, physiological and the behavioral changes that enables an organism to survive and reproduce in that particular habitat. Adaptations have evolved over a long period of time and now they are genetically fixed in that living organism. Let us consider an example of a kangaroo rat. How is a kangaroo rat adapted to the North American desert? Firstly, the internal fat oxidation provides the water as there is no external source of water. The next feature the kangaroo rat has got is the ability to concentrate the urine so that the minimum volume of water is used to remove the excretory products. The adaptation of desert plant. The first and the foremost important feature the desert plant has got in order to adapt to the arid climate is the presence of the thick cuticle on their leaf surface. The second one is the arrangement of stomata in the deep pits to minimize the loss of the water through transpiration. The third one is the special photosynthetic pathway, that is the CAM, that is enabling the stomata to remain closed during the daytime. So the stomata is opened at the night time. When the carbon dioxide enters inside, it is stored in the form of malate. This is the special adaptation of the CAM plants. CAM means crustacean acid metabolism. The next feature is the desert plants like Opuntia have no leaves. They are reduced to spines. Therefore, the photosynthesis is done by the stem. The next one is an adaptation of mammals. Mammals from the colder climates have shorter ears and limbs to reduce the heat loss. This is called as Allen's rule. It means to say the lesser surface area, the less amount of heat escapes from the body. And this rule was mentioned by Joel Asaph Allen in the year 1877. Aquatic mammals like seals have a thick layer of fat below their skin that acts as an insulator and reduces the loss of body heat. Physiological and biochemical adaptation. In most animals, there is an optimum temperature for maintaining a standard metabolic reaction. But Archaebacteria, which is found in hot spring and deep sea hydrothermal vents where the temperature is greater than 100 degrees centigrade. The Archaebacteria survive in such a high temperature with the help of thermostable protein, which prevents an enzyme degradation. Many fishes also thrive in Antarctic water where the temperature is below 0 degrees centigrade. They survive in such a low temperature with the help of antifreeze protein, which prevents the freezing of the protein. Many marine invertebrates and fishes live at a greater depth in an ocean where the pressure is greater than 100 times the normal atmospheric pressure. At high altitude places, which is greater than 3500 meters, we feel altitude sickness. Its symptoms are nausea, heart palpitations, and fatigue. This is due to low atmospheric pressure. Therefore, the body does not get enough oxygen. Nausea means urge to vomit. Palpitations means irregular heartbeat. Fatigueness means tiredness. These symptoms are found when the body is exposed to low atmospheric pressure because the body does not get enough oxygen supply. Gradually, our body start to acclimatize to that particular situation. And how does the body acclimatize to it? The body compensates to the low oxygen availability by increasing the RBC and increasing the breathing rate and decreasing the binding capacity of hemoglobin. The binding capacity of the hemoglobin decreases because of the decreased partial pressure of oxygen. Next one is the behavioral adaptation. The desert lizard, they bask under the sun and absorbs the heat when their body temperature is low. And they move to a shadier areas when the ambient temperature starts to increase. And some species are capable of burrowing into the soil to hide and escape from above ground heat. So these are the two different types of behavioral adaptations.